NBA 2K26 Summer League. David Jones Garcia drops 23. Spurs top Pistons. What a night for basketball fans craving action, drama, and a few jaw-dropping surprises. The 2025 NBA 2K26 Summer League matchup between the San Antonio Spurs and the Detroit Pistons delivered an electrifying display and introduced a new name that's already sparking conversations. If you thought this was just another routine Summer League game, think again. Here's the headline that's turning heads. David Jones Garcia powered the Spurs to a decisive 96-84 win over the Pistons in Las Vegas, dropping a game-high 23 points and making a serious statement about his potential. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this a glimpse of a future NBA star, or did the Pistons fall flat on execution? Let's break it down. Despite their undefeated record heading into the game, Detroit seemed poised for control, opening up a 12-point lead during the first quarter at Thomas and Mack Center. But the Spurs matched their energy, tying things up by the end of the quarter, a momentum shift that proved critical. In the second quarter, San Antonio exploded, outscoring Detroit 34-23, which allowed them to seize the lead and never look back. From that point on, the Spurs maintained at least a 6-point cushion, pushing the margin to as much as 22 before the Pistons finally closed the gap a bit in the dying minutes. If you look at the numbers, the Spurs put on a shooting clinic, hitting nearly 48% of their shots from the floor and draining threes at an awesome 40.6% clip. In contrast, Detroit struggled mightily from beyond the arc, making just over a quarter of their attempts, 26.9%, and finishing with 42.5% overall from the field. The Spurs also flexed their muscles on the glass, edging out the Pistons 37-32 in total rebounds, while their 17-9 advantage on fast break points highlights just how effective they were at turning defense into offense. It's proof that effort and execution can trump hype in any setting. Jones Garcia wasn't the only Spur making waves. Dexter Dennis chipped in 12 points, plus 3 rebounds and a pair of assists, while Jameer Nelson Jr. provided solid support with 13 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. Josh Hughes rounded out the double-digit scorers for the Spurs, tallying 11 points and a couple of assists. Could this be the core of a future Spurs resurgence? Not everyone agrees, and that's what makes these Summer League showdowns such a thrill. As for Detroit, their previously undefeated run hit a snag, despite bench spark plug John Yukamadu leading the team with 12 points and 3 rebounds. Second-round pick Chaz Lanier gave the starters a boost with 11 points, and both Tolu Smith and Trevor Keels added 10 apiece, each grabbing 4 rebounds. Yet, the chemistry seemed to falter as soon as the Spurs ratcheted up the pressure. Here's the part most people miss. Summer League games are about much more than wins and losses. They're about making impressions, seizing opportunities, and rewriting narratives. Did Jones Garcia just launch himself into bigger conversations for the upcoming regular season? Or is Summer League success just an illusion that says little about actual NBA readiness? Now it's your turn. Was this Spurs win a flash in the pan, or did we just witness the birth of the next big thing? Could Detroit's loss be a red flag, or is it simply the beautiful unpredictability of Summer League basketball? Share your thoughts and debate below. Your perspective might just change how we see these rising stars. Pistons Summer League Finale. Lanier shines despite loss to Spurs. Imagine a thrilling basketball game where the momentum shifts in the blink of an eye. That's exactly what happened when the Pistons faced off against the Spurs in their final Summer League matchup. The Pistons' hopes of ending their 2K26 Summer League tournament on a high note were dashed as they fell to the Spurs 96-84 on Saturday night at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the loss, there were some standout performances that gave Pistons fans a glimpse of what's to come. Chaz Lanier, the 37th overall pick, finally found his groove after a tough stretch, finishing with 11 points in just 15 minutes and showcasing his impressive long-range shooting skills, going 4 of 7 from the field and 3 of 5 from three-point range. This is the part most people miss. Lanier's college days were marked by his ability to sink three-pointers, and it's exciting to see him bring that skill to the Pistons. Tolu Smith III also ended his summer league on a positive note, with a solid 10-point, 4-rebound performance, although his 3 turnovers were a notable exception. And then, there was John Ukamadu, who came out of nowhere to lead all Pistons scorers with 12 points in almost 16 minutes off the bench, with all his scoring happening in the second quarter. The game started off promisingly for the Pistons, with a 12-0 run that held the Spurs scoreless for over 4 minutes, but things took a turn when Davis Jones-Garcia hit a three-pointer, sparking a 16-5 run for the Spurs that ended the opening quarter in a 19-19 tie. As the game progressed, both teams showed more offense in the second quarter, but the Spurs continued to pull ahead, taking a 53-42 halftime lead. San Antonio kept stretching their lead throughout the second half, and the Pistons never managed to close the gap after relinquishing the lead. One of the most striking aspects of the game was the stark contrast in three-point shooting between the two teams. The Pistons shot a dismal 26% from beyond the arc, while the Spurs sank an impressive 40% of their three-point attempts. The Pistons also struggled from the free throw line, going 15 of 26 despite having 10 more attempts than the Spurs. Danis Jenkins, who had been averaging 17 points and 6.5 assists per game, had a surprisingly off night, missing all 5 of his field goal attempts and finishing with just 2 points. Bobby Klintman, who had scored 20 points in the previous game against the Heat, saw his scoring plummet to just 2 points, making only 1 of his 6 attempts and missing both of his three-point attempts. The Spurs' Jones-Garcia proved to be a formidable opponent, scoring his team's first 10 points and ending the game with 23 points, going 8 of 14 from the field and 4 of 6 from three-point range. But here's the thing, despite the loss, there are still many positives the Pistons can take away from this tournament run. Ron Holland II's performances in his 2 games before being shut down by the organization give the team plenty to look forward to in his second year in the league. And while Klintman didn't end his summer league on a high note, there should be more opportunities for the 6'9" forward to play in his second season. As we look to the future, it's clear that the Pistons have some exciting young talent on their hands. But what do you think, fans? Are you optimistic about the team's prospects, or do you think they still have a long way to go? Let us know in the comments. One thing's for sure, the summer league may be over, but the real excitement is only just beginning. How Zakai Ziegler, Chaz Lanier performed in final NBA Summer League game. The NBA's Summer League journey for former Tennessee stars Zakai Ziegler and Chaz Lanier came to a close on Saturday night, as the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Detroit Pistons 96-84. Despite the loss, both players delivered impressive performances to cap off their summer stint. Lanier scored 11 points, shooting 4 of 7 from the field, and added a rebound and an assist. Ziegler contributed 6 points and a remarkable 5 assists, showcasing his playmaking abilities. But here's where it gets interesting. 2 of Ziegler's assists were reminiscent of their Tennessee days, with the point guard setting up Lanier for open three-pointers. This dynamic duo showed that their chemistry is still strong, even in the professional league. Detroit finished the NBA's Summer League with a respectable 3-2 record, and both Ziegler and Lanier made significant contributions throughout the 5 games. Lanier averaged 10.4 points per game, despite a 34% three-point shooting percentage, and added 2.2 assists and 1.6 rebounds per game. Ziegler wasn't far behind, averaging 9 points, 3 assists, and 0.8 steals per game. More from RTI. Lady Vols forward Z Spearman to play for USA Basketball in FIBA tournament. https://www.rockytopinsider.com/2025/lady-vols-4-z-play-and-FIBA-tournament. With the Summer League now over, the focus shifts to what rosters these two will make next season. Lanier's future seems more secure, as the Pistons drafted him early in the second round and signed him to a substantial contract. He is expected to earn at least a two-way contract, allowing him to play for both Detroit and its G League team. And this is the part most people miss. Ziegler's situation is much more uncertain. Detroit only signed him to a Summer League contract, leaving his future with the team up in the air. However, his strong performance in the Summer League should earn him a G League roster invite, if not a two-way contract. The NBA's Summer League concludes on Sunday with Jahmai Mashek and the Memphis Grizzlies playing their final game at 8 p.m. Eastern Time against the Los Angeles Clippers. What do you think? Will Ziegler secure a spot on a G League roster, or even a two-way contract? Share your thoughts in the comments below.